Hello adventurers! Today we're going back in time, back to around between 1974 and 1999. For some time now I've wanted a freezer. For when I'm fishing I can have a dedicated freezer for freezing the fillets rather than trying to use my Waco and do both. I was wondering what I would do. I was looking around for a second fridge and I remembered that in one of the farmhouses at the farm there was this vintage Engel. 1974 to 1999, it's a MRFT 515-A4, so she's an old girl. We're going to crank it up, we're going to get power on it, see if it gets cold, and go through, see how much power it draws, and see if it'll do the job. So let's get on with that. As you can see, it's the old cream and green model. It's of metal construction with plastic housing here, this particular one. It's in good nick. It's all the seals are good. It's got a swing type compressor. We'll see how much current that draws later. It's the old manual thermostat and she's in really good nick. Oh, well, let's get back to the future and we'll get some power on there and do some testing. Alright, back to the future. With this fridge, they are both 12 volt and 240 volt and they have a little slidey switch which I'll show you how it slides backwards and forwards. The 12 volt plug is easy to get. You can just get that from BCF or somewhere like that. But the 240 volt plug is nearly impossible to find. So I've gone and got a power supply to make it 240 volt capable for the meantime until I can find a cord, and I'll show you that power supply. That's going to be the solution for now. So this is the power supply, 7.5 amps. I'm pretty sure that'll be enough. Just got this from JCar. The 12 volt cord is quite available with a cigarette lighter plug on it. It's the 240 volt cord that is not available, and I'll show you how that works in the back here. So in here there's this little slidey thing. So that's the 240 volt side and it uses those 3 pins. And if you look, that very left pin is used also if you use the 12 volt plug. And the 12 volt plug looks like that. And it's this one here. It's called a H cord or a H type cord. Very difficult to get. So I'm going to use the 12 volt cord and that power supply. The power supply is a switch mode. It comes with a cigarette lighter on it, I believe. Let's pull that out. Yep, comes with a cigarette lighter. We're going to cut that off and put on a Anderson plug because everything else I've got is Anderson. So we'll do that and then I will check what current it requires. I'm pretty sure this power supply will easily supply it. So let's try that. Let's get that set up, get those cords set up, and then we'll do the testing. Alrighty, so we're going to get rid of this cigarette lighter plug and stick on one of these Anderson plugs, which are basically a lot better and what I have standardized on. So that's what we'll do. So we're going to cut this off and then solder those on. So I'll normally cut back a little bit back here so I can use that cigarette lighter plug. I'll just undo this. I'll just cut him off. And I'll give it a little bit of a tail so I can use it next time around. Then we'll just pare back the insulation and put the Anderson plug ends on. We'll just solder those on, strip the ends of these, and we'll just have to solder these Andersons on. So let's get to soldering them on. There we go. So the dipped in. Might have to get another. There we go. Both are in. Right, so we've got this. We just need to know what polarity that is. So we'll plug it in. We'll get a multimeter. And we'll have a look at what polarity we have. So what do we got there? That's positive 13.8. So brown is positive and blue is negative. So that's positive. So we look for the positive side of here, which is this one, and we push him in, which he goes in that way. And you generally have to get a little bit of a screwdriver or something up the back to give him a push. Alright, so that's the transformer end done. Now we've just got to do the cord, so we'll turn that off. Now this is the 12 volt Engel cord. We're going to cut this end off. Again, we'll leave a little bit of a tail so we can use this end of it. So we'll cut him here. We've got this other Anderson here, so that would be positive. It's got the red on. I'll double check it, but that's pretty well what it'll be. So now all I have to do is get the power supply Anderson and this one and plug them together. Oh, let's see if that works. Alrighty, we get this end and we plug it in here. Which way does it go? That way. So we plug that in there, and then this end goes over to the power supply. Alrighty, we'll plug this in. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's just started humming. So that's going to work. How many amps this pulls? It's on flat out freezer. Let's see how many amps it pulls while it's doing that. So I'll just split this apart a little bit. Positive side. I've got a meter here, 400 amps clamp meter. We'll zero that and clip it on here, and if you can see that, we're doing 6.3 amps. So it's just started really pelting down outside, but we'll let that run for a little bit, and then I will check what the temperature is on the inside, and I'll just clean up this bench a little bit. So we'll have a look at what the temperature is, and it works pretty well. So this is a infrared, so I'll just, there we go, what do we got there? About 20.7 on the evaporator. Pretty well all the way around. Neg 17 there, neg 19. So that's on freeze, flat out freeze. So that's pretty good. This is drawing around that 6 amps. I'll just throw it back on here. If I can get around there one-handed, there we go. That's about between 6 and 6.2-ish. We'll go and check the Waco in the back of the car, 35 litre Waco, and see what that is. So the Waco, let's see what the Waco draws. I'll just stick the camera down while I stick the thing on there. There you go, the Waco's drawing about 3.2 amps. So, bit over half, a little bit, about half, you could say half, a little bit over. There you go guys, quick video of me getting this vintage Engel into shape to use as my fishing freezer. As you can see, if you pick up one of these things, they work quite well. They're a little power hungry, but I'm going to be using this on a generator most of the time when I'm freezing down fish, so that shouldn't be a problem, and the rest of the time that car will probably be running. I won't use it when stationary that often because I've got another fridge. So if you come across one of these things, grab it, because yeah, they're a pretty good unit, pretty bulletproof. As you can see, it's been sitting for about 25-ish years. Plugged it in, straight down to negative 20 degrees. Okay, hopefully the next time or the next video I'll be filling this thing full of fish. So until then, have a good one, and I'll catch you at that video, on that video.